can't see myself making it 2 more years without not having my house anymore.
Haven't you retired yet, Di?
Because I can't afford to.
We need to stop pushing Americans past their fucking breaking point!
And cry and do all of that. But what the fuck?
64% of Americans are more worried about not having money at retirement than actually dying. And 1 in 3 Americans believe that they won't be able to retire at all. And with statistics like this, we have to ask the question, what the fuck is going on with retirement in America? And why is it so shit? And the answer might be as simple as this. Men and women are outliving their retirement accounts. Men are outliving their retirement accounts by 8.3 years, while women are outliving their retirement accounts by 10.6 years. So we're living longer. The longer you live, the more money you need in your retirement, creating a scenario where over 95% of retirees 65 years and above heavily rely on Social Security. According to CBPPS, without Social Security, 37.3% of adults 65 and above would be below the poverty line. With Social Security, that falls to 10.1%, meaning the program lifts 16.3 million older adults above poverty. SSA also reports that nearly 9 out of 10 people aged 65 and above were receiving Social Security benefits as of the end of 2025. It gets even worse. We have more people reaching or at retirement age than any other point in American history ever. Thanks to baby boomers. Well, not baby boomers really, their parents actually, because their parents after World War II were doing a lot of enjoying themselves, and they made a lot of babies, and welcome to baby boomer. Since 1983, the number of Americans aged 60 to 69 has grown dramatically from a stable 20 million through the 1980s and 1990s to 40.8 million by 2024, a pattern that has increased the number of Social Security beneficiaries. In 1983, 32.3 million claimed Social Security, but in 2024, that number has increased to 60 million, a 20 million increase. So the increase in retirees coupled with the increase in life expectancy has created a situation where the only social safety net Americans have to retire with is depleting rapidly. Due to, you guessed it, baby boomers. We fucked the entire retirement plan in one move. In the 1970s, we experienced stagflation and high unemployment, reducing payroll tax income and causing a critical funding gap. In response to this, Congress passed something called the Social Security Amendments, which gradually increased the full retirement age, increased payroll taxes, and tax benefits for higher earner retirees. These benefits were explicitly for the baby boomer generation, whose aging was long anticipated. And we still couldn't get it fucking right. Now at first, this actually started to work with large surpluses in the Old Age and Survivors Insurance Trust Fund. Holy fuck, that took a lot of takes to get right. Growing from the 1980s to the 2000s, allowing it to stockpile money for future retirees. Then we get to 2010s. Where shit goes left real quick. The annual cost of this fund began to exceed the non-interest income. Since then, the program has relied on drawing down its trust fund reserves to cover the difference between benefits paid and payroll tax revenue. But the fund was still okay because the total income was still more than total expenses until 2021, where the total cost exceeded total income and total interest. And so we're starting to see the fund gradually and now rapidly deplete, which leaves us in a scenario that nobody wanted. According to the 2024 OSADI Trustees Report, the Old Age and Survivors Insurance Trust Fund is projected to be depleted by 2033 under the intermediate cost scenario. That would result in an immediate 21% cut to all benefits, reducing payments to 79% of scheduled amounts. This right here has left all generations in America fucked. Whether you're retiring right now or you're just newborn baby, you're fucked for retirement. Younger generations, for example Gen Z, are saving more than any other generation in history because they understand the situation that they're currently in, and they don't believe Social Security will be around when they're ready to retire. Data shows that a 24 to 28-year-old Gen Z individual in America has around $13,500 saved in their retirement accounts. But it's not enough. Due to the cost of living continuing to outpace wages and rapidly increase alongside inflation, someone who is 24 years old today would need $2.7 million to $3 million to retire by the time they're 65. And the reasons that we have less money going into retirement are all crises themselves. People are having less kids. That means less people Social Security is able to get payroll taxes from. Wages have been stagnating adjusted for inflation ever since around the 1980s. Healthcare has continued to increase. Retirees have to pay more for healthcare. So due to these other crises, it's funneling down and causing a retirement crisis. But it wasn't always like this. We used to have something called employer benefit pensions. This was the backbone of retirement in America. Pensions coupled with Social Security gave working Americans the peace of mind that when they reach retirement age, they would have guaranteed money there to live off of for the rest of their lives. Seems like a great system, and it was. But as the saying goes, all good things must come to an end. Introducing the worst invention for retirement ever, the 401k and IRA. Now, the initial intention of this was to give employees the incentive to invest for their retirement tax-free alongside pensions and Social Security. But businesses saw this as an opportunity of a lifetime to take the burden that they had to do to give their employees retirement on a monthly basis through pensions and put all that burden onto employees themselves. And so employers immediately adopt the 401k, heavily used it, and started to reduce their pensions for their employees for retirement. And this set up people to fail from the beginning, shifting full responsibility to employees who don't have a lick of financial literacy. In 1992, defined benefit plans on average accounted for more than 50% of total non-Social Security retirement wealth of households aged 51 to 56. By 2022, the average share of secure defined benefit pension wealth had fallen to 25%. Meanwhile, riskier defined contributions and IRA assets have surged, together representing the majority of retirement wealth. Unlike traditional pensions, these accounts do not promise predictable monthly benefits. Instead, retirement outcomes depend on individual investment decisions and the uncertainty of financial markets. Now, most people think if we just extend the fund of Social Security and increase it, everything will be fine. But that's not the answer, because this isn't a Social Security problem, it's a systematic problem with retirement itself. And to fix this, we would have to bring back pensions. But that's not going to happen because businesses and corporations are greedy. And the more I seem to do research, the more I find out how greedy and how selfish businesses actually are. I talked about this in one of my previous videos, but us as employees cannot rely on the government or corporations or companies any longer. It is up to us now to be able to fund our own retirement. So financial literacy is very important. So for you, whether you are retired, on the brink of retirement, young, and Gen Z like me, you need to have financial literacy. It is probably the most important thing that you can do for your future. Every time you get a paycheck, you need to invest money for your retirement. You need to take care of your future, and you need to take this seriously. It is up to you. I can't control it for you. Nobody else can control it for you. Social Security is not going to save you. Only you can save you, and you can only rely on yourself for retirement.